All right, introducing project 3. We're going to be doing a step-by-step cookbook for project 3. So the objectives of this project are going to be to consider editorial design. Our goal here is to understand the basics of page layout. We're going to use a found recipe as copy for a new step-by-step cookbook layout and design. We're going to utilize research and brainstorming to generate ideas and focus our designs. I'm going to be giving you the recipe, and you're going to be doing 2 recipes for this assignment. And we're going to be doing 4 pages. So it's going to be 4 pages. And the idea is it's a layout for what would be a whole cookbook. We're only going to do 4 pages, but our 4 pages are going to show what this whole design of the cookbook would be like. And the cookbook would be essentially like, a 50-page cookbook. Our goal here is to practice setting long pieces of text. We're going to learn design strategies to enhance readability and comprehension. We're going to use size, posture, alignment, leading, tracking, kerning, and color to produce excellent legibility and readability. We're going to understand how grid systems bring a sense of proportion, order, and continuality to design. Using the modular grid system, we're going to consider typographic details. We're going to learn the finer typographic details that use size, posture, alignment, leading, and tracking. We're going to consider typography and design. Understanding typography's relationship to design. Explore typography's usefulness as an important element of communication design. Using type, we're going to apply basic principles of design, balance, gradation, repetition, contrast, harmony, dominance, unity, and etc. to resolve design. Apply knowledge of typographic hierarchy. Our goal will be to continue to learn design tools and techniques using in Adobe's InDesigns, learning the strengths and weaknesses of the design tool. And our goal will be to become fluent with the typography and design features within InDesign. So here are some examples of cookbooks that I happen to own. And I'm showing you examples to say, okay, when we look at cookbooks, there's some key things that happen no matter how many cookbooks we would look at. First, every recipe has a title. So the first thing is it's going to have a title. It's then going to have an introduction, telling us a little bit about the dish that we're about to make. Then you're going to have the ingredients. Every recipe has an ingredients, and usually, like you can see in this example, they're called out. This one's using color to call it out. Then there's step-by-step instructions. And this one is, you can see they're not using numbers necessarily. They're just using little stars or asterisks saying each step is like highlighted with this little burst. And this one has 4 steps. It also serves 4. It's another piece of information that's very important. How many people is this going to serve? Here's another cookbook. Headline. This is the name of the recipe. Then we have the ingredients. What are all the ingredients? It also has serves 2 above the ingredients. Next is the introduction, the introduction telling us a little bit about this recipe. What's the introduction? And then lastly, the steps. This one also has 4. So the steps to make this. Notice also that this has page numbers, and it also has the name of the book in the corner. And we're going to continue. So then we have another example: headline, serving, instructions, ingredients. This one has a couple things. It has for the dressing, for the pokey, for the serving. There's like 3 different sets of ingredients. And then a big long introduction and only 2 steps. This recipe has a sidebar attached to it. And a sidebar is something that is in addition to the recipe. So it's not part of telling us how to make the recipe. It's about maybe an ingredient or something else that they want to teach you about. Remember, a cookbook is a how-to. It's telling us how to do something. It's an informative. It's teaching us something. And so sometimes, in addition to teaching us how to make the recipe, it's also telling us how to source ingredients and other elements that are important to the process. So I'm showing you lots of different cookbook styles. So here's an example from Anthony Bourdain. This one is from a celebrity chef, and it's very artsy. So the photo is not of a photo of food you're going to eat. This is like an art photography image of egg and anchovies. And the recipe that they're talking about is deviled eggs. But usually the recipe is going to have a beauty picture of the actual recipe, but not always. Here's another one from that same celebrity cookbook. It's a moody, arty picture of chicken wings. And on the right is the recipe. And again, it has the headline, the introduction, the ingredients are along the side, and then all the steps to make the recipe. Here's another example of step-by-step images. Sometimes cookbooks have step-by-step images to go along with the instructions. And so for your recipes that you're going to receive, you too will have not only the steps, you're also going to have step-by-step images you can choose to use. You don't have to use it, but you can choose to use it. Here's another celebrity chef cookbook. You got the beauty picture of the product, the end product. You have the headline, how many it serves, the introduction, the ingredients, and the steps. You also, on this one, also have a caption about some other elements within the recipe that they want you to be aware of. Here's another one, beauty image, headline, how many it makes, introduction, ingredients, steps. Here is a sidebar, another sidebar. This one's taking up a whole page, and it's showing 10 things not to serve at a dinner party. And so it has a numbered list, and it's showing you what those 10 things are, plus a reason why. And I'm just going to kind of go through some of these to give you an idea of different examples. And I posted this presentation up on our Blackboard because it's just to show you lots of different examples of cookbooks. Like this one's, for example, the whole point of this is great food fast. So notice in the design, they've added prep time, 25 minutes. They've made it very special, and they floated it above the image of the finished product, because they want you to know that, because this book, if you're using this book, that you're looking for recipes to be cooking fast. And so the design kind of highlights the time. This is also one about time. Bow tie pasta with sausage and escargot, and it's showing the servings and then how long it takes, and they have a little stopwatch. It's under 20 minutes. So the amount of people it's serving and how fast it gets cooked are highlighted within the design of the page. So here's another example of a spread. And a spread means 2 pages. When we're talking about a spread, we're talking about 2 pages. And I wanted to point this one out because it shows, here's the headline, Go Green Carbonara with Peas. Notice how there's a little V. That's showing that this is vegetarian, so that there's no meat in this dish. And then it says how many it serves, and then it goes into carbonara instructions, and then it goes into the ingredients, and then it goes into the step-by-steps. And then over here on the right is a sidebar. It says pasta rules. This is a sidebar. And then it goes into what is about pasta, something about pasta. Here's another one, another vegetarian dish, parsley lemon pesto with farfalle, a little introduction, ingredients, step by step. And then on the right, you're seeing a sidebar for pesto. This is showing us just a separate thing about pesto. And I'm showing you these ones with sidebars because your recipes as well, oh, my screen's starting to stop, will also have a sidebar. And I'm going to open that up right now. So I guess it's fine that it stopped sharing. Let me pull this over and show you the instructions. Okay. So here is, I've already read through the instruction, the objectives. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the recipes that include step-by-step instructions. And I'm going to be giving you the recipes. You're going to design 2 cookbook spread layouts for the recipes that I'm giving you. The page size for this publication is 8 by 10 inches. The design must contain all the copy provided, the recipe titles, servings, ingredients, folios, captions, footers, pantry staples, feature sidebars, and a burst violator with supplementary information highlighting one of the recipe ingredients. The process, we're going to research asset collection and adjectives. We're going to use the provided copy and images as a basis for the step-by-step cookbook design. And we're going to retrieve the text and images sent to you. You must use all the copy provided. You must use the finished dish picture, and you have step-by-step images that are optional for your use. Read the recipe provided and do the research on cookbooks to gain a better understanding of cookbook design. To focus your design, you're going to compile a list of 10 adjectives describing the cookbook look and feel. Is it colorful, minimal, edgy, organic, celebrity, simple, diet? Like I've just showed you a whole bunch of different types of cookbooks that are out there. And you can choose what yours is going to be like. Ultimately, from your list of words, you're going to choose 2 adjectives that are going to focus your design around. These adjectives will serve as your design compass. We're going to help make decisions about our style, our color, our supporting images and graphics that we also refer to as our assets. So we're going to do type studies and lay out grid sketches using a few paragraphs from your copy. We're going to consider legibility and readability and explore different paragraph settings with our typeface. We're going to try the text with different combinations of text, typefaces, point size and line spacing and line lengths and column widths. These simple type studies will greatly inform us to understand which direction we want to take and help us design our grids and our sketches. So I'm going to leave this, I'm going to pause here. I'm not going to go through all of the steps because we're not going to go through all of those right now, but I wanted to just introduce the beginning stages. So I'm going to stop here